Hey there everybody, Jason here, and today we're going to be doing a quick unboxing of the new Super Nintendo Classic Edition. So as you can see, this is the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, and it is the shrunk down version with preloaded games, just in the same vein as the Nintendo Classic, which came out last time. And basically it's got a never released Star Fox 2, it's got games like Super Mario World, Donkey Kong Country, F-Zero, Super Mario Kart, Zelda, Link to the Past, and more. It comes with this console, designed after the original release of the console, especially this is the United States version, so that's why it's got the purple. You got two controllers, and again, instead of the red, blue, green, and yellow buttons, as you see in the European and Japanese release, you have the dual shaded purple. If you look on the side here, basically it says Super Nintendo console. It is a super retro blast for the past, with a return of the all-time favorite Super Nintendo Entertainment System. The mini-size Super Nintendo Classic Edition is packed with over 20 pre-installed Super Nintendo Entertainment System games from the 90s, fully loaded and ready to play using the original style Super Nintendo controller, or classic controller, sorry. And then on this side it says, play the classic Super Nintendo Entertainment System games the way they were meant to be played on a full-size original Super NES controller. Just plug it in and you're ready to go. Includes all of the original features, the control pad for quick control and movement, A, B, X, and Y buttons for rapid fire action, special L and R shoulder buttons, and select and start for the menu selection and pausing the game. And the other ones on either side is just in different languages. On top here you have the little logo that says Classics. Then on the bottom you have all sorts of warnings and important things and trademarks and all that sort of stuff, as well as the HDMI label here and the barcode. On the back of the box, we've got the full list of games, so let's go over them real quick. As Contra 3, The Alien Wars, Donkey Kong Country, Earthbound, Final Fantasy 3, F-Zero, Kirby's Dream Course, Kirby Superstar, Mega Man X, Secret of Mana, Star Fox, Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting, Castlevania 4, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Super Punch-Out, and you got also The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past and Yoshi's Island. And then also Star Fox 2. And it says here that Star Fox 2 is unlocked by completing the first stage of Star Fox. So basically you have to beat that first one in order to get to the new one. But that's it for the side and fronts of the boxes, so let's actually crack into this thing. Let's do this nice and carefully. Oh, it says right here as you open it up, now you're playing with power. Am I upside down? I am upside down. Alright, there wasn't anything else special inside the box, it was just basically that. It doesn't say anything underneath this little flap either, so it was just that one little hidden message. Yeah, there you go. Alright, so as we get into the box, we have the instruction manual, I'm assuming. Nintendo like always sticks these things inside little plastic baggies. Oh, here you go. Basically just like a poster. On the back of it you have the quick start guide and everything like that for how to plug it into your system and TV. And then on the back you have some little screenshots of some of the games as well. Now you're playing with power. I love that. Super Nintendo was one of my favorite systems. I think I liked this one before I liked the GameCube as far as like level of liking things. That was a really weird sentence. You have a different power block this time. This one's a little bit curvy. Says Nintendo. There you go. And then let's take a look at the controllers. Okay, so you also have the micro USB charging cable, and then you have an HDMI cable provided to you as well. I'm not going to take a look at that, that's not too important. You have 1 and 2 classic NES controllers. I guess one of the biggest things about the NES Classic last time was the length of the cables. And from what I've heard, they've made them longer, but personally I just bought like literally a 20-foot HDMI cable so that I wouldn't have to worry about it. It was just sitting in front of my TV, or just sitting in front of me. But it's a very nice cable. I'd say that it's at least like twice as long as what the original one was. I feel like they redesigned this controller plug-in too. Give me just one moment. Okay, so in grabbing an original NES classic controller, I decided I wanted to check out the plug to see if they actually made them any different, and they didn't really. It's the same design plug, it's just a different color for the Super Nintendo one, which makes sense because the controller plugs were always black and these ones were a little bit gray. Anyway, moving on. A little side note. So the controller itself feels great, dude. Like this new controller, it's like sturdy. The buttons feel fine. I mean, they feel squishy. And then on the back here you have model CLV202, which is awesome. And then why not compare it to an original one, which, like, there's a texture to this. Like, there's even like a coloration difference. I don't know if you can tell that. Actually, yeah, you can tell. I can at least see it through the camera, but like, there's a texture to this one that is just gone on this guy. And then, like, as far as buttons go, actually, they're pretty spot on. It's a similar squishiness to it. Actually, seeing as I have it, why don't I check the size of the cable and compare it to the new one. So I'm just going to sort of pull them across the camera here at the same time and see which one ends first. So here's where the classic controller cable ends, and then this is where the original one ends. So obviously this is designed to be played like in front of your television, or it's designed to basically make it so that you have the system sitting in front of you while you're playing it, attached to a longer sort of cable to a TV. At least that's what I see. That's why I have a 20-foot cable. We're just gonna get this other controller unplugged here. So there's controller number 2. Now let's get to what we're actually looking for. This guy, which is the actual system itself. It feels tiny. But here you go. I mean, that's basically it. It's got a working reset button. Eject doesn't work. The flat for the cartridge doesn't work. It's got the power button itself, or power switches. Got Super Nintendo Entertainment System with the Nintendo little built-in logo here. And you got controller port number 1 and 2 with the power LED. And then on the sides here, obviously nothing. On the back, got your HDMI port and your DC in, HDMI logo, and on this side also nothing. On the bottom here, you've got basically the Super NES control deck, model CLV-201. It says basically just what an operate says. And a serial number, of course. So obviously, the controllers can't plug in via that, so you actually... How easy is this to actually pull down? Oh, here it is. Underneath here, there's just a little sort of grip that you can take. Then you plug this in just like that. Which actually, it does make it easier to plug in like a classic controller from the Wii or the Wii U into the system to be able to play. To me, it kind of breaks a little bit of the aesthetic of the console, having to like pull this down. I didn't mind on the original controller ports for the NES Classic that it actually just sort of went side by side here, right where they should be, and I didn't mind that they were the actual classic controller plug. So that's my only like downside to this guy. Actually, getting this like re-plugged in was a little bit tough, but that's that. that's basically it for right now. Let me know what you guys think of the NES or Super NES Classic down below in the comments. Have you managed to pick one up? I know at the store that I picked this up from today, they were sold out before they even opened up the door. So stuff like this might be really hard to find, but do you plan on getting one? What do you think of the games that are on there? I think it's about 50-50. I think there's about like 10 games on there that I actually want to play, and maybe 5 of them that I don't even own that I actually want to beat. But that's really about it. The system's really cool. I'm excited for the Star Fox 2, and I'll be doing some gameplay streams and demonstrations of the system working on Twitch. You can find me at twitch.tv/giantjazz there as well. But anyway, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.